When did Errol Spence become the man for Terrence Crawford to want to fight him? Because he wanted to fight Pacquiao and Thurman because they were the man. So when did that transition happen? Let's talk.
Straighter, not a roundhouse right hand.
And that's what we've been talking about. The straight shot is the one where he gets leverage on it.
I don't want to kill
Pull
somebody
back
for
a little bit.
seconds.
Nah, I want a body on my record.
Now, I want to see you fight motherfuckers. I do. All right, I'm with you. I'm with you. As long as you're trying to fight the great, the best competition.
Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Yo, it's the best, fight the best. If you ain't with the moto, just click the link, bitch, and get buried like the rest. It ain't gonna work how you want it. These trolls already tried, too many come but don't leave. So if you here, you gotta die. I'm spitting straight facts. These bitches crying cause they hate that. The LDBC's the top topic, bitch, hate that. We the ones that bring the truth to these fans. So while you hate, I'ma laugh and keep counting these bands. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you. Welcome to the graveyard. Click the link if you dare to. Bury you alive, I'm prepared to. Welcome to the graveyard. You get your sources from clowns, so when you come around, we don't hear you.
Welcome to the graveyard.
So for years, Terrence Crawford was talking about how he only wants to fight Thurman and he only wants to fight Pacquiao because, you know, they were the top guys. They were the dude. They were the top guys. They were the ones that ran it. The division, you know, your eye test can fool you and all this other stuff, you know. That's what dude was saying. Every time I mention Errol Spence, oh, no, Errol Spence, he's really not the man. Keith Thurman's the man. It's Thurman. Thurman's the man. So when did Errol Spence become the man? Because Terrence Crawford claimed that he wanted to fight the man in 2018. But he never fought Keith Thurman. He didn't fight Manny Pacquiao. So what made Errol Spence the man? All Errol Spence did was beat Kell Brook, the guy that you guys don't respect anyway. Oh, Kell Brook's coming off a loss. Golovkin did this and Golovkin did that. Blah. So Kell Brook's coming off a loss. So when did Errol Spence become the man? When he beat Ocampo? So because Errol Spence beat Ocampo, all of a sudden, now Terrence Crawford wanted to fight him, Errol Spence became the man when he beat Ocampo? I'm just asking, bro. I'm just asking. Because Terrence Crawford had been saying, oh, man, listen, I want to fight Thurman. It's Thurman. Thurman's the man. Thurman, Pacquiao. Thurman, Pacquiao. They're the man. Thurman, Pacquiao. So why didn't Terrence Crawford pull up on Keith Thurman? I pulled up on you, EJ. Why didn't he pull up on Keith Thurman? If Keith Thurman was the man, why didn't he pull up on Keith Thurman? If Keith Thurman was the dude, then why wasn't he at Keith Thurman versus Danny Garcia? Why wasn't he at Keith Thurman versus Sean Porter? Why wasn't he at those fights? If Keith Thurman was the man, if Manny Pacquiao was the man, it's Manny Pacquiao, why didn't he pull up on Pacquiao? Why didn't he? I mean, Floyd Mayweather did it. They sat across the basketball court from each other. That's how the fight got happened. So I'm just saying, why didn't, if Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao were the main, they was the ones that Terrence Crawford wanted, Thurman and Pacquiao. So why doesn't he have the same energy towards them? Where's the vim, the vigor? Where's all that? Where's all the pull your panties up? Where's all this stuff? Where is all this? Where is all this energy? All this weird-ass, goofy-ass energy that this nigga has when it comes to Errol Spence? Where'd it come from? Y'all niggas is so caught up in the dumbass shit that you're not even thinking about this. Where the fuck did it come from? Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, this man now all of a sudden he wants to smoke with Errol Spence. Out of nowhere. But listen, Errol Spence, no, he's not the man. He's not the guy. It's Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman is the man. Well, the last I checked, Keith Thurman only lost to Manny Pacquiao. He does not have more than one loss. He only lost to Pacquiao. Only. So, and he lost to Pacquiao after Pacquiao lost to Jeff Horn. So, if Keith Thurman was the man, then didn't Pacquiao take his the man status? Didn't Ugas take his the man status from beating Pacquiao? I'm just asking questions. These are just realistic, honest-to-God questions that none of you niggas want to ask. You running around here with this stupid-ass shit, this fucking goofball-ass shit. Oh, Errol Spence is scared. Errol Spence running. Errol Spence wrong. Errol Spence just fight Bud. Errol Spence, Errol Spence. Well, when the fuck did Errol Spence become the man? When did this happen? I'm just asking. He fought Kell Brook. You said we don't give him credit for Kell Brook because Kell Brook was coming off a loss. He was coming off a loss. He got his eye broken and it's coming off blah blah blah. Okay, fine. So when did Errol Spence become the man for Terrence Crawford to say I want to fight Errol Spence? When did this happen? Because he damn sure wasn't saying it at all ever. Every time someone put a mic in his face, this man was calling out Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. That's who he wanted. Keith Thurman and Pacquiao. So Errol Spence became the man when? What fight did Errol Spence fight in where that was it? He's the man. Which one was it? I'm just asking. Which one? Y'all don't give Mikey Garcia. Oh, man, little tiny Mikey. Little tiny small Mikey Garcia. Little small, little tiny incy-wincy pequeño. Mini, minuto pequeño. So was it that? Was it Ocampo? Which fight did Errol Spence fight in where he became the man that Terrence Crawford needed to fight? I'm just asking because nobody is answering this. No one's answering this. This man is on record saying that Errol Spence is not the man. It is Keith Thurman, Manny Pacquiao. He's on record saying this. Errol Spence never fought Keith Thurman. He just beat Ugas, who just beat Pacquiao. So Errol Spence, according to Terrence Crawford, just became the man. Just now. Like, just recently, this year, when he beat Ugas. He just became the man this year. So, what Max Kellerman was saying, Terrence Crawford, you normally, when you come to these fights, you normally walk right next to Jesus H. Christ across the water. You and Jesus normally compete on who can turn water to wine the fastest. But in order to have stiff competition, because you're God mode, the only stiff competition that we can think of that will give you any type of fight at all, that will barely ever touch you, is Errol Spence. What do you say about that, champ? Well, if he not wearing the drop us a bum threes, then it be the ones that you say be the easiest, be the ones that be the toughest. Then be the ones that like jelly with no peanut butter. Well, the eye test can lie to you. Like, nigga, what the fuck is you talking? Okay. If the eye tests can lie to you, and Errol Spence is not the man is Keith Thurman. That's the man. He has one loss to Manny Pacquiao. If Keith Thurman was the man, then why did you turn him down? I guess I'll save that for another conversation. I just want to know when Errol Spence became the man. I just want to know when Errol Spence became the guy that Terrence Crawford needed to fight to prove his worth. When this man when did Errol Spence become the guy that Terrence Crawford said, I need to fight him? When did this happen? Because according to you niggas, Errol Spence beating Kell Brook ain't shit because Kell Brook had a broken eye. You know, Golovkin broke his eye. Kell Brook ain't shit. Beating Mikey Garcia ain't shit. Mikey Garcia was too small, too little guy. Errol didn't even stop him, so now he ain't nothing. He ain't shit. Beating Ocampo's garbage. Ocampo ain't shit. Ocampo ain't nothing. Beat Lamont Peterson ain't nothing. Like, oh, Lamont Peterson, man, he passed it. Lamont Peterson, oh, he blah, blah, blah. So I'm trying to figure out when the fuck did Errol Spence become the man that Terrence Crawford needed to fucking fight? When did this happen? Oh, BFTB, when Errol Spence got a belt. Oh, really? Really? When Errol Spence got a belt, he became the man? Because Errol Spence had a belt before Terrence Crawford moved up there. Errol Spence had a belt before Terrence Crawford went to 147. Terrence Crawford fought Jeff Horn in 2018. He moved up in 2018. Errol Spence was the IBF champion the year before when Terrence Crawford was fighting in Dango. So when they asked this man, who do you want next? Well, you know, all of them. All of them. Keith Thurman. Pacquiao. Errol Spence did not beat either one of them. But yet all you dudes have been running around crying like a bunch of hoes because this man said he wanted to fight Keith Thurman. He wanted to fight Manny Pacquiao. He turned them both down only to try to fight or claim to want to fight a guy that he said wasn't the goods, wasn't the top dude. Keith Thurman has one loss to Manny Pacquiao. That is all. So when did Keith Thurman give up his the man status? When did that happen? When he fought Manny Pacquiao. That's when he gave it up. That's when Manny Pacquiao became the man, which was last year. So Terrence Crawford wanted to fight somebody who was not the man at 147. That's who Terrence Crawford wanted to fight. Somebody who was not that dude. You're not that guy. He wanted to fight that guy, the guy that's not that guy. That's who Terrence Crawford wanted to fight. But when everybody was telling Terrence Crawford that Errol Spence is that guy, Terrence Crawford was saying it is Keith Thurman and Manny Pacquiao. That's what Terrence Crawford was saying. And everybody was agreeing. Yeah, that's right, man. Keith Thurman, he was the man. Keith Thurman was the man. It's Keith Thurman. Yeah, it wasn't Errol Spence. Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman was the man. Yeah, Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. It was Manny Pacquiao. I'm with Bud, man. He right. Manny Pacquiao, Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman, man. Keith Thurman's the man. Well, Errol Spence never fought him. So when I say that statement, when I say Manny Pacquiao just beat Keith Thurman, which, according to you guys, would have just made Manny Pacquiao the man. Ugas just beat Manny Pacquiao, which would have made Ugas the man. Errol Spence just beat Ugas this year, which makes Errol Spence the man this year. So this is a tough question for y'all to answer. This is real hard. This one's real hard. And I understand y'all are going to deflect. I understand y'all going to move the goalposts. I understand all that. I understand it all. But when Terrence Crawford was moving up to 147, he was calling out Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman because those were the top guys. Those were the man. It was not Errol Spence. It was Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman. And then when Manny Pacquiao when Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao, all of a sudden Jeff Horn's the man. So then it would have been Keith Thurman and Jeff Horn. When Jeff Horn beat Pacquiao, it would have been Keith Thurman and Jeff Horn would have been the men. So if you beat Jeff Horn, then the next guy should have been Keith Thurman. Right? Keith Thurman. But then when Keith Thurman lost to Manny Pacquiao, that would have put Pacquiao right back in the loop. Right? Because you beat Jeff Horn, who beat Pacquiao. So the only man left was you and Thurman. That was it. So when Thurman lost to Pacquiao, the only man left was you and Pacquiao. That was it. You turned both of them down. So when Pacquiao lost to Ugas, the only man left was you and Ugas. That was it. Now when Ugas just lost to Errol Spence, just now, it is now just you and Errol Spence. That's what's left, you and Errol Spence. So why were you trying to fight Errol Spence when you first got to the division? Why weren't you just going after the guys that you said were the man? And someone, anybody, tell me what fucking fight did Errol Spence fight in that made him the man to fill that formula that Terrence Crawford said when he was at 140 and becoming undisputed? Errol Spence is not the man. It's Keith Thurman. The eyes can be deceiving. It's Keith Thurman. It's Keith Thurman's the man, not Errol Spence. It's Keith Thurman. That's what he said. Errol Spence was the man. Keith Thurman was the man. That's what Terrence Crawford said. Keith Thurman. He wanted to fight Keith Thurman because Thurman was the man. And he said he wanted to fight Pacquiao because, pretty much Pacquiao was the money man. But Thurman was the man and Pacquiao is the money man. Well, you fought Jeff Horn, who beat Pacquiao. So I'm guessing that makes you the money man. I'm guessing in your mind. But you're not the man. The man is the man who beat Keith Thurman, which was Pacquiao. So Pacquiao was the man until Ugas beat him, which made Ugas the man, until Errol beat him, which made Errol the man. So, but oh man, Errol just need to fight. Pull up your panties, Errol. Errol, let your nuts hang, Errol. These promoters work for us. They work for you, Errol. Let your nuts hang. Where you at, EJ? I'm looking for you, EJ. Well, I've been calling for that fight. Listen, if you just go back and look, when I was at 135, I was calling for Errol Spence and all those guys. I was calling for Thurman and Errol Spence. You were a fucking liar. But the Bud Dick Riders will run this motherfucker, and you know he's lying. These Bud Dick Riders know he's lying, but you'll say nothing about it. You'll say nothing. Motherfucking, I can almost hear you roach ass niggas scrambling in the comments trying to figure out when Errol Spence became the man. I can almost hear it, bro. This video's not even finished, and I can almost hear you roach ass niggas scattering around in the comments trying to figure out when Errol Spence became the man. Because you disrespected Kell Brook. So he didn't become the man then. He didn't become the man then. None of you niggas told me that Errol Spence became the man when he beat Kell Brook. None of y'all. Nobody. You've never said it. And I purposely said nothing about it. Purposely. Because I'm diabolical. So I purposely said nothing. But I'm saying it now. Because now, to my OG Black, it's time. In my Tank Davis voice. So I'm just asking, when did Errol Spence become the man for Terrence Crawford to want to fight him so bad? When did this happen? Because all he ever wanted to fight was the top guy, the man, which was Thurman. Breathe on that. BFTB. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. And I'm out.